Earth, summer, heat, pillars, red, heat, scorpion, red summers. The president still acting unprecedented. Bitch, I'm in the Bronx with the evil in my residential. It was all emojis, it was never mental. The silver spoon is under fire, and the pressure blanket. The times that we living in unprecedented. We went from doing the Dougie fresh and vintage. Now they all pessimistic. Girl magic, just the nick, only impressed with chicks, only savages. We let this dick, baby, and let this dick. No metaphysics, so many butter biscuit, they need extra biscuit. We had to blend this district, we was just a drip. They want shit, let's go, with the lesser mixing, cocksuckers. Only precious district, they want potato witness, they want potato witness. And the book is shit, and the heart of it, started shit, that money harder with, Sean Carter started hit with started shit, the crime, the passion, it runs, we fell in love with blasting they guns, my chain roll, the rainbow, Dr. Strange hold, like a brain rearranged code, 360 spinning clearly like a plane roll, 365 winning really like a game host, 444 degrees on the range stove, on the coast of the mango. These niggas wanna know how power is obtained. If you actually shower pain, they'll tell you that it's hours in the rain. Till none of these cowards they remain. Flowers is arranged, carriages remain. Drawn by 400 horses, there was power in the range. 19 block cutters overpowering the planes. They left all them towers up in flames. I never look at 24 hours is the same. Bitch, I'm Jack Power mixed with black power. You a mixture of that crack powder and Mr. Matt Lauer. Hashtag Mr. Need 2. You met Red Pillar, I suggest that you niggas need blue.
Yo. In the land of the brave, in the home of the giant, she was COVID compliant, she was COVID defiant. That was potent reliant, be exposed in these tyrants. Composed to the science, we not posed in no trial. Controlling the climates, yeah, we mold these environments. Scientists with clientless, minds touch with iron fist. Iron arms, only way to catch these gems. Just to the open palm, equestrians on open farms, open on that potent wall, growing farms, colder arms, Olympian, kicking doors, waving 44s, they won't shit, we talking like a MP, people talking like pedestrians, Requiem, putting you out front and center like ESPN. In the middle of the action, spitting with a passion. You get riddled if you passion, shit no dribble, we just passing off the scribble, we just cashing. Expand the vote, play above the rim, Burler goat, man goat. I turn from man to hole, can of hope, let the hammers go, take your banner leg, not even amber rope to stop me from slut shaming all these bitch niggas. Yeah, your man's a hoe, the only antidote is split as cantaloupe. Leave you bloody like an antelope on Serengeti. Get ready, shit, no introduction necessary. Legendary, stories still unfold. Yeah, they taking notes like secretaries. Yeah, the hardest like it's message heavy. Talk that life, but what we represent. Physics in the forest. Scientific winners, Morris. All the shit I should have stored. Like every day is February. Shit, you like it, I adore it. Shit, I write it, then record it. Recite it, and perform it. Excitement, I'm a for it.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, that right there, ladies and gentlemen, was China Flow. All right, featuring your man's Red Pillar and Blue Pillar. You know what I'm talking about? Somebody said that the audio is echoing. Man, let me know. Let me know if how the audio is sounding, because I really can't hear it too tough on my end. Give me some feedback. Oh, it was echoing when I was playing China Flow. Yes, sir. Let me know how the audio sounds. I'm not on the microphone. You sound good tonight? Okay, cool, cool. That's what's up. Well, greetings to the family. Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Third Eye Thursdays. This is episode 163. All right. This is episode 163. All right. So big ups to everybody in the building. Let us go ahead and start this off with the roll call. Let's get it going. Let's start the roll call, and then we'll get into the conversation and we'll chop it up. You dig? And yeah, we'll let it do what it do. Um, I don't intend on being here for more than an hour. As you know, as you may know or you may not know, have a monumental workshop on Saturn Day at noon with Brother Rich, Masters of the Universe with Black Magic 363, as you can see behind me. So I've been in the lab, you know what I mean? I've been in the lab, and that's exactly where I'll be headed as soon as I'm finished this. Mississippi in the building. We got to talk about Mississippi. I have to find out what the hell is going on in Mississippi. I'm very disturbed by the news that's coming out of Mississippi. What's going on, man? It's crazy. Harlem in the building, Akron, Ohio in the building, Philly in the building, Toledo, Ohio, Norfolk. You dig? Rochester, what's happening? All right. What's happening? Virgin Islands, St. Croix, Bridgeport, Connecticut. You dig? Is Chat GPT downloadable? You could go on the site. I don't know too much about downloadable, but it's available. It's on openai.com. West Virginia, Sanford, all right, Portland, but it's only available for the people that's paying. I have a paid subscription, so I have access to it. I don't know about everybody else. The BX in the building, best stop in this thing. Chicago, what's happening? Phoenix, what it do? All right, Mississippi, what's popping in Mississippi? Man, them people, man, It's a lot of, it's giving a lot of, it's giving Jim Crow, it's giving Emmett Till, it's giving, it's just giving some real horrific racism out there. You feel me? We'll talk about the story, you know, we'll talk about the story, but it's very disturbing. You know, brother got murdered out there, and they did his body very dirty. You know what I mean? They did him dirty. They did his whole spirit dirty. And we'll talk about that before the night is over. San Antonio, all right. Yes, that is more reliable. You're right about that. You know, my take on the using the Chat GPT is that the paid model works better. It doesn't get, you know, I think that they made the free model kind of slower. So when the paid model comes out, you be more susceptible to spending that bread. Hartford, Connecticut in the building, the 508 in the building. The biggest advancement from GPT 3 to 4. It's a significant upgrade. It's multimodal and whatnot, meaning that it could do more than just text. It could also do video. You could take a picture of anything and basically upload it to Chat GPT, and Chat GPT will break the picture down. You know, it's a few things that it's you could scribble a website, you could scribble a blueprint to a website. It doesn't have to be the website. You could just scribble it out like a scribble of a website. Then you could upload it, and you could tell Chat GPT, write the code for this website. It will give you the HTML and the CSS and basically build out a site in 10 minutes for you. The fast is going great, man. The fast is going great. It's challenging. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been very challenging. And it's not really the appetite, because to be honest with you, I'm on my fourth day of a fast. The first day, which was on a Monday, and the second day, I basically didn't eat anything. I might have been I dealt with the liquids. I drank, I was drinking and stuff. I might have ate a fruit here and there, but I didn't have an appetite. It's not the food, it's the circumstances that's really trying me. You feel me? It's the circumstances. It's just a lot of weird shit just been going down, testing my faith. You like pushing me. And I'm like, I'm just trying to find some peace. I'm fasting. I'm trying to find an inner peace, bro. Like I just need peace. And life is just throwing curveballs right now. So I'm like, damn, that's how you do it, brother, that's fasting. You know what I mean? You pushing my buttons like Bill Bixby. But it's helping me with my self-discipline. It's helping me with my self-mastery. You know, I'm very thankful for it. Shout out to KT the Arts Degree for even starting the fast. And, very thankful for it. This fast wasn't as strenuous as the God Body Challenge, and I don't know why. Um, I have no idea, but I'm able to walk through this one a lot easier. You dig? You dig? Yeah, man. So I want to start the show. First and foremost, I want to kick the show off by bigging up and hailing up, like saluting uh a group of brothers out of California, right, who are a part of No Jumper, right, who are a part of No Jumper. How many people that's watching this right now are familiar with the platform called No Jumper? If you're not familiar with the platform, I'll just hip you real quick as to what No Jumper is. Okay? So No Jumper is like Vlad, right? No Jumper is a platform, and he considers himself to be a hip hop podcast. But there's been some, what's the word? Conflicts of interest involving the character who goes by the name of Adam 22, right? Who is a porn star, right? And not only is he a porn star, okay, but he's also affiliated or rumored to be affiliated with some of the skinheads and other quote unquote nefarious characters, or sketchy characters um, that live in California and other places, right? He I think he's a skater, right? He's part of the skater community. And one of the hallmarks to his podcast, his hip hop podcast, is that he highlights Black degeneracy and Black dysfunction. He often brings gangbangers on his platform, right? He was one of the platforms that blew up Crip Mac. I think that's the name, right? Custards. He's one of the platforms who were highlighting a lot of the quote unquote beefs between different gangs in LA. He's basically said on record that he makes $1 million a week, right, from advertising and other forms of monetization. Because if you don't know by now, and if no one has told you, this is a very lucrative a very lucrative, okay, niche to be in, what is called podcasting, especially in a genre of hip hop, and then especially in a niche of deaf culture. And that's something that Vlad TV and World Star Hip Hop, they are sitting at the quote unquote top of that quote unquote pyramid or that food chain. But right below Vlad, Adam 22 is climbing up the ranks, right? To be in control of the nigga kingdom or the dysfunction of the deaf culture. Now, Adam 22 started bringing on different hosts over the past few months to host some of his shows and whatnot, right? Like he went from hosting his own shows. They were kind of heavy with the mayonnaise and whatnot. It was heavy with the you know, it was heavy with his, it was Adam and some of his white friends and whatnot, and they weren't necessarily too tapped in with the culture. So what he started doing is he started bringing personalities from within the LA area, right? Different counties and different, little towns and whatnot. He's bringing brothers and whatnot, black and brown. Now I'm using these terms, of course, out of context. I know that black and brown are not races and whatnot, but I'm using them so people that are watching this who can relate to what I'm saying. I'm giving you visuals and whatnot. You know what black and brown looks like, right? Mexicans and niggas. Okay, my bad. Mexicans and brothers. I'm sorry. So I did mention a minute ago that he did say publicly when he was being interviewed by none other than Vlad, right? They were comparing their quote unquote, their checks, their YouTube checks. And he said, yeah, I'm making $1 million a week. You know what I mean? Fast forward to these personalities that he has on his show. Come to find out, he's not even paying these people. Now, we all know how Google AdSense, and we all know how these quote unquote platforms are cutting checks and whatnot. So we know, right? And there's apps that are out there that you could basically put your URL in an app and it will tell you how much each episode on YouTube generated, right? In AdSense and how much the check might look. So the mutiny began to start on his show when I believe DJ Academics was calling out one of his hosts, and he was like, "Nigga, you just a worker. You don't get no bread. Like you the help. You know what I mean?" And that kind of like he planted a poison seed because after he said that, I started to see the whole goddamn thing unravel. He must have hit a pain point because it's the person that he told that to, he started pressing Adam 22 for a few dollars. And we know what that didn't work out, right? And then there were accusations of this man being a pedophile, right? There's a case that was lingering over his head that was about maybe 10 years old, sort of like the Charlemagne the God situation, where he might have pleaded to a lesser charge or the accuser, didn't go all the way through with their accusations. However, right, there was a guest, he had a guest on his show yesterday, and the guest was exposing him, right? I'll play the video.
We're talking about the whole lust situation and everything, but I'll be a hypocrite if I don't address the situation that happened with you.
There is no situation with me.
The one where you was messing with the 16-year-old girl?
What do you think happened? The article says
I'm going
was
on
19 when I met her.
She was 19 when you met her?
Yeah. The article says it.
So, but what did you say?
I said that I spoke to her on the phone when she was 16 before I realized that she was
All right, well,
That's how we catch a lot.
that's how we catch him.
She didn't even know that she was doing something fucked up. But
It don't even matter, but that's how we catch
him.
him.
You felt like you were gonna come on my platform and expose me though. Like, why
no, it was just in the midst of the conversation. It was in the midst of he didn't. Hey, it's not on him on nothing. It was in the midst of the conversation.
You come on my platform and spread lies like that?
Lies?
Lies.
Is it lies?
I mean, you could have done some research and figured out any.
Did you talk to her when you were 16?
For like 5 minutes when I was 21. I'm 39.
You wasn't 23?
I might have been 21, right?
How you don't know? How you don't know if you was 21?
It was 20 years ago.
It still happened though, but we can't take that jacket off. We can't take that jacket off for nobody.
Right? You gotta go.
Hey man, no. Let's go. Look, yeah. Yeah, season 6, nigga. Get mine. I'll keep it cut. All right. He kicking us out. Why you kicking us out, bro?
I don't appreciate you guys coming on my platform and spreading lies like that.
It's not lies. This is.
So as a result of that, right? Adam 22's melanated co-hosts, right? And there were about 4 or 5 of them. They decided that they were going to quote unquote keep it moving. They were like, you know what? We're leaving your show. Okay. So they packed their bags and they had a mutiny and they basically left his show, right? AD, Sharp, and a few other of his quote unquote King Trail, right? So right now, Adam 22 is being exposed. Okay. Right now, Adam 22 is being canceled and he's being exposed. And people are basically saying F you. And they're realizing that this man has been a creep for a very long time. And the word culture vulture is beginning to surface again because they're like, you know what? You just a vulture. You don't add too much, quote unquote, value to what it is that we're doing in this culture. We don't really need you like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody wants to get an interview. Everybody want to go viral these days. But they're like, you know what? We already got a buzz and whatnot. This is what his co-host is saying. We got a buzz from you. So we're going to take that buzz and we're going to build our own shit. We've seen enough behind the scenes on how to be successful by just watching you to whereas we could do our own thing. And I want to say that I applaud those brothers for doing that because that's not what happened over at Vlad TV, right? Well, it happened with Lord Jamal and whatnot. And hold on a minute. So yeah, when Lord Jamal and Godfrey, right, said that we're canceling Vlad TV and they got the fuck up out of there because of what Vlad TV has said about Farrakhan, along with some other things that he was not backing down from, they was like, I'm out of here. I've had enough, right? You not even representing the culture correctly. And then you out here doing foulness and you trying to throw other people under the bus, but your hands are not clean. But the minute that they left, this nigga Boozy, right? Boozy Badass and a few other buck dancing niggas hopped right on the couch and whatnot. It was almost as if they were waiting for Lord Jamal to get off of the couch because they wanted to take his place. Because, Boozy don't sell albums. He's not a hot artist like that. He just gets on Vlad and starts buck dancing and motherfucking shuffling. And, he's his new quote unquote, court gesture, right? He crossed the line when they said, don't cross the line. And because he don't really have no honor like that, he doesn't honor, he don't stand on shit, right? Other than that played out mentality that he holds on to about what the streets is, when niggas ain't really on it like that. So he's just gonna go on Vlad and gossip all day because, of course, Vlad is paying the bill, right? So now Vlad has a peanut gallery of black men who can't stay unified, who can't stay on code and whatnot, and they over there doing all of that stupid shit. So I'm glad that I'm seeing what I'm seeing with Adam 22, where the brothers have blatantly said we are not rocking with him. We don't rock with him. We don't like him like that. If he fires one of us, he fires all of us. Salute and kudos to those brothers. I hope and pray that they get picked up or they're able to build their brand up and keep it moving. But we need examples of black men that are not monetary whores and whatnot, or fame whores where you just whore yourself out just to be in front of a camera or just to be on somebody's couch or just for some peanuts that they're throwing at you. We have to have a little more quote unquote integrity to ourselves, and we got to stand for something or we'll fall for anything, right? So I hope that example reverberates around the industry and people could utilize that for something so they could start standing for something. And when these people start doing sideways business and whatnot, you have the mitigated gall and the testicular fortitude to basically walk away from them. You know, to basically walk away from them, because that's some crazy ish right there. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I'm glad they killing him on Twitter right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad they're doing that because he's a sketchy character. You know, I put a video up and I showed it on one of the Melanin Mondays or Third Eye Thursdays where he was on a show with a dude named Sneaky O. Keep in mind, I think Adam 22 had Nick Fuentes on the show. He's had a few white supremacists on the show already, and he didn't give them no smoke. He wasn't pressing them. He wasn't asking them the kind of questions that he asked gangbangers to incriminate them. He wasn't doing none of that. But anyway, Atlanta and Jackson, Mississippi getting hit hard. You know, but to make a long story short, you know what I mean? We need to get all of these culture vultures up out of here. You know what I mean? If it's gonna start with with Adam, it should end with Vlad. You know what I'm talking about? Don't let it stop with Adam. You know what I mean? Start cleaning all of these dudes up and whatnot. Get them the fuck out of here because they're not really serving too much for the culture. They don't have too many quote unquote, what are they gonna talk about? If they're not going to talk about the excellence of our people, if they're not going to talk about the upliftment of our people, if they're not going to talk about the breakthroughs that our people are having, then they're only going to talk about criminology. They're only going to talk about degeneracy. They're only going to talk about waywardness. That's what they're going to entertain. And they're not doing it from the bottom of their hearts. They're doing it for a YouTube check. But I know behind closed doors, they laugh with each other because they like, I don't believe that these black people are letting us exploit them like this. Like, I really don't believe we're getting away. They're looking at their YouTube checks and they be like, do you believe that we're getting paid for this? To bring melanated men to get on this couch and to commit and to admit to their crimes? Yeah. Cleanup time. Cleanup time. And that leads me to this situation in Mississippi that I want to briefly touch on. Like I said, I want to briefly touch on it. I don't want to go too deep into it. It is a very sad story. I just want to make people aware of what's going on in Mississippi, right? Family of a black man found dismembered in Mississippi, call for a probe, right? A black man was found dead after he told his mother that he was being chased by white supremacists. Mississippi man who went missing found with head severed, right? So This is a very heinous case. His name is Rasheem Carter. So we're going to remember his name, right? We don't want to forget his name. A black man was decapitated after saying that he was being chased, and they found him in a wooded area on private property too. Okay. This reminds me of many lynchings that have taken place in Mississippi over time. Many places, right? Many instances in Alabama, Mississippi, you know what I mean? The Mississippi Delta. If anybody knows the history of the Mississippian mound builders and whatnot, then you know how this is a continuum. This is something that they've probably been doing for a very long time. But I just pray and I affirm that the brother will find his justice. You know what I mean? This will not go unsolved. This won't be one of those unsolved mysteries. This case will definitely, there'll be some form of justice that's going to come about this. They did that man super dirty. They did him super dirty to the point where I don't even want to get into the details of the story. I gave you the headlines, and the headlines are gory enough. I really don't want to dive too deep into that darkness right there. But yeah, as we can tell, these race soldiers, these Klansmen, and these people who have all of the worst intentions, they're still out there doing their little thing in the shadows and whatnot, violating our people and shit, and getting away with it. You feel me? Getting away with it. So rise in power to his memory, to his spirit. And I wish justice comes quicker than a lightning bolt for him. You said they prey on the weak. I mean, yeah. One of my words of advice, though, is don't be around, we all gotta get our we all have to work for a living. You know what I mean? We all have to do something to maintain ourselves. Sometimes work takes us into strange places. But being deep in the woods of Mississippi, or being in sundown towns, or being in places where your spirit is telling you you don't need to be there, I think you should begin to take heed of that. You know what I mean? And don't find yourself in some of these places, you dig, where you're not familiar with your environment and people who don't look like you are not around you. I would rather roll the dice and be in a heavily melanated area, right? And just roll the dice than to be in a heavily mayonnaise area where I'm the only dot. I would rather roll the dice being amongst the people. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if they knuckle draggers or whatever you call them. I would roll my dice going amongst the folk, because I got more of a chance to connecting with somebody who's an A alike, who B alike, who C alike, that's gonna hold it down with me than I would in quote unquote Boise, Idaho, or Utah, or Mississippi with these rednecks. I'm good. I don't know how y'all do it. I really don't. I don't know how, especially black women, how do y'all place yourselves in the middle of that ocean? Like, how do you feel comfortable putting yourself in the midst of those people like that? Like, without no hammer, without no blicky, without no machete, without no Ogun spray, you know what I mean? Without no brass knuckles, without no mace. Man, y'all trust anybody, I guess. Y'all better than me. Y'all better than me. Because I ain't with it. I ain't with it at all. You know what I mean? Wasn't it Nina Simone that had the song "God Damn It, Mississippi"? Was that her song? you know. And it's not like Joe Biden or any of the Democrats are going to do anything about it. So it's like, yeah, and Mississippi is trying to bring back the Jim Crow laws. Glad you brought that up. I had to preference that. Is this not the same place where they refused to lock up the lady that was involved with the Emmett Till case, right? Well, named Carolyn. This is Mississippi, correct? This is the same place that they severed the brother's head. They sent his mother his spine and his head, his skull chopped up, right? He was only missing since what? I think it says September. So they sent his mother his spine and his skull. It was already decomposed. So the popular consensus is that they fed him to hogs because that's what the pigs do. A hog will clean your ass to the bone, right? So that's what they do in the deep south and whatnot. They take your ass and they feed you to the hogs. You feel me? To take a, and then they do something with the bones and whatnot. You feel me? They stay, in them redneck towns and whatnot, with them Billy Bobs and whatnot. They'll feed you to the hogs. Yeah, they know how to dismember animals. You feel me? And they'll send you right to the butcher and dismember you real easy. Okay. So you gotta be on your P's and Q's, man. Gotta be on your P's and Q's. I see some type of calamity visiting Mississippi before the end of the year, only because they are out there, fucking with the grid, doing a lot of debauchery and whatnot. And one thing I know about the land is gonna wake up and it's gonna speak for itself. You can't spill too much innocent blood on the soil and the earth doesn't react. You know what I mean? You can't be out there doing all of that fuckery and somehow, nothing happens. It's all cause and effect. So when you see something go down in Mississippi, just know that that is a direct result for all of the anarchy that's taking place out there. They're trying to usher in Jim Crow. I believe it's in Jackson, Mississippi. Like, that's what happens when our people are asleep at the wheel and we out there gang banging, drilling, killing, and doing all of the things that put ourselves in a compromising position. What do they wind up doing? They come right behind us and they start implementing Jim Crow laws. They start lynching people. You feel me? They start doing all of these things because the strength in Mississippi more than likely is gone. Right? The brothers is in jail or they dead. The true front line, the brothers that wasn't having it, yeah, more than likely they not even around or they preoccupied with death culture or the dope game or some other shit or they rappers. You know? But in the month of April, and I brought this up before, and when we finish with this workshop, we'll be pushing the envelope about this our movie screenings a little more. We'll be pushing it more, but I can't push too many things at once. So in the month of April, me and Blue Pill are going to be hitting the road and we're going to be doing screenings for the wonderful, monumental, groundbreaking documentary called American Maroon. By a show of hands in the chat room, because it's #1 on Amazon right now. Tariq Nasheed is the director of this documentary. #1 on Amazon for documentaries right now. How many people seen it? How many people seen American Maroons? Me and Blue Pill made our debut in that documentary. From what I remember, I don't remember us being in a documentary. We supposed to be in the Nick Cannon one, but he never put that out. So we're gonna be doing screenings all around America for the month of April. So if you are in the audience and you have a movie theater, you work for a movie theater, you own a movie theater, your people own a movie theater, I first and foremost will want to break bread with melanated people first. I'm not trying to go and screen anything in no Peckerwood movie theater, right? But the premise of American Maroon is speaking about black people, men and women who fought back, right? The melanated ex-slaves and whatnot, right? Who were warriors, who was actually fighting back and killing shit, winning wars, hidden history that they really can't let you. You think they scared about CRT, critical race theory? Oh no, they're petrified about the American Maroons. You dig what I'm saying? They never want you to hear about that. So it's gonna be, we're gonna have to pull up in places like Alabama, like Mississippi, the deep South, right? Because in the documentary, it highlights Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas and the borders of Virginia and whatnot, when we were indigenous, when we were the Creeks, when we were the Seminoles, you know what I mean? And when we were other tribes and whatnot, it highlights the fact that we were freeing ourselves from the plantation. And not only were we freeing ourselves, we were fighting and we were freeing other people from the plantation. And then when it came time for us to go to war against the Europeans and whatnot, we were serving their asses because they could not fight us in the quote unquote dismal swamp. They were not equipped with guerrilla warfare. We were able to go into nature and whoop their asses and whatnot. Similar to what you see in the movie Avatar. Avatar was a depiction of some real life shit. You dig? It was a depiction of some real life ish. So I'm gonna drop my email. I want to give the family that's out there the opportunity to tap in with us and to do some business with us. I don't know if there's movie theaters that's black owned out there, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put my email. Even if you got the plug, you know what I mean? Just, shit. Hit me up. Let us know. You know what I mean? Let us know, because we have that just depends on, because and to be honest, and I have to say, it can't be a janky theater. Y'all know the type of ambiance or the aesthetics that the brother Tariq Nasheed is known for. He had 5 movies already. I've been to a few premieres for Hidden Colors 2, Hidden Colors 1, Hidden Colors 4, right? And I believe I did a premiere for 1804. So everywhere that this brother was doing his premieres was, industry standard. Like, it wasn't the struggle. It wasn't no struggle shit. It wasn't no janky shit. So we want to go ahead and tap into the same type of ambiance. So we're looking for real movie theaters with real screens and real chairs. You know what I mean? They look real nice and real good. We want our people to dress up when they come out. We're going to be having panels, discussions after the movie is over, featuring some of the people that were in the movie and maybe a few other people that were not in the movie. Just depends on what state or what city we're in and whatnot. But we're going to bring a lot of the heavy hitters out. You dig? We're going to bring a lot of the heavy hitters out to break down this movie and to have further conversations and to teach even more, because you'll learn. I walked away out of the documentary. I was like, shit, I done learned something. You know what I mean? But when we do the panels, we even gonna teach more. So you'll get more information, more quote unquote history and whatnot. And you'll be able to go ahead and teach other people, because right now, in the state that our people are in, we got to learn about the warriors amongst us. We need to learn about the historical names like John Horse and whatnot and speak that name, right? speak that name into existence and whatnot. You feel me? John Horace, you know what I mean? Bass Reeves and other people who are from our past and whatnot, who are real soldiers. You know what I'm talking about? Who are really riding out, who is really putting in work. You dig? Who is really staining shit. You know what I'm talking about? Gotta say their names. We cannot forget them. We know the drug dealers' names. You know what I'm talking about? We know Vlad's name. We know the rapists. We know Adam 22s and all of them. We know Hitler's name and everybody that he was working with. We know King Leopold, but we don't know our heroes. We feel ashamed to say their name in public. We don't know we won't scream their name out around white folk. We don't know our heroes. We're not familiar with our heroes. And some of us don't even want to know our heroes. You know what I mean? They what's the word? They downplay the heroes. They have names that they call them and whatnot. They talk out of the side of their neck. They're ashamed that that we got heroes that put in work. You know what I mean? They'll apologize for them niggas 100 years, 200 years later. They'll apologize for them. And in the movie, the documentary, they give a lot of good information about Moorish history. You know what I mean? A lot of good information about Moorish history. So I don't want nobody to be, don't make your mind up about the documentary, who's in it, who produced, all of that stuff. Just watch it. And then you can have your quote unquote 2 cent. But don't give your 2 cent until you watched it. So that's what we'll be doing. And I definitely want to hit Mississippi because the brothers in Mississippi need to get that. They need to get sparked. They need to see warrior shit. They need to know that they are from the bloodlines of true warriors because we got warriors that live in warrior enclaves or states that quote unquote produce warriors like a Philadelphia, a Detroit, right? New York, you know what I'm saying? Newark, New Jersey. But these warriors are out here eating on each other, right? Destroying each other, self-destructing amongst each other because they don't have good generals to point them in the right direction. They don't have coaches that are going to raise them properly to show them where they could direct their energy or their angst or their anger and whatnot. You dig? Yeah, like Houston, Dallas, these are where the warriors are being bred. So it's like, if that's where the warriors are being bred, then who is leading the warriors other than the big homies? They leading the warriors into the cells. They leading the warriors into early graves, into life sentences, into death row. That's where they leading them, right? They holding them by their hand, Pied Pipers and whatnot, and they're walking them off of the cliff. So those brothers need some type of direction. They need a little bit of quote unquote GPS to put them in the right direction because they all over the place right now. So, if you out there on the front lines and that's what you dedicated to doing, salute to you. You know what I mean? Salute to you because I know how hard that is. That is not it's not an easy road. It's not an easy road. So yeah, guys, I'm about to get up out of here. Like I said, I got a big Saturday in front of me. Tomorrow is crunch time. I got 1,000 things to do. If you didn't see the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once, go check that out. You know what I mean? That's a good sci-fi type of movie. It will stretch the imagination. It deals with the multiverse and jumping through different universes and the fact that there are many versions of you spread throughout the galaxy and you might want to go and meet them. You dig? So yeah, man, have fun with you guys tonight. I want to say thank you, and I definitely want to say that I appreciate your time. I appreciate your attention. I appreciate your patience and all other things. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate your input. I look forward to seeing some of y'all. I'm sure all of y'all will not make it on Saturday, but I definitely look forward to seeing some of y'all. You know what I mean? When you do see me on Saturday in class, just let me know where you be like, yo, it's me from your show, Melanin Monday or Third Eye Thursday. Identify yourself so I could be familiar, you know, with the fact that the KT Aliens is in the building with me. And we're gonna turn up. We're gonna drop mega bombs. We're going to cover all bases. We're going to demonstrate some things that the people probably never saw, like AI in action. We're going to show you AI in action, Chat GPT, Mid Journey. We're going to generate some images. We're just going to have a ton of fun, man. We're just going to have fun. That's because that's what this is about. This is about having fun and enjoying life. You dig? So with that being said, I'm gonna leave y'all with Sherman Hemsley off of the Red Summer album. We got some new music on the way. While you're at it, waiting for the new music, you could go and stream United We Stand 2. That is the good brother Source Guard's project. He has Facts on it, Facts Anthem, along with about 4 other songs that both me and Blue Pill are featured on. So it's called United We Stand 2, all streaming platforms. You could go listen to it for free right now. Indulge, enjoy, and I will see y'all on Saturday or on Monday. All right? If you're not in class, hit the show the love, and enjoy. Shout out to Sabir.
Peace, King. How you feeling? Well, not much. 444. Get 2 bags. Yes, sir. Okay, yeah. I just want 2. Just 2 right now. You know what? This is on me. Get that. Yeah, this is for the family. All right. We got it. This is for you. Oh, man. Beautiful. Peace. Thank you. Yeah, it's a healthy one right there. It got seeds in it.
It's one got seeds in it.
It got seeds in it.
It broke the scale. We need a whale scale now.
Yes, sir, man.
Yes, greetings.
Peace, brother.
Peace be unto you. It's so magnetic. It was recognized as ultra. They weaponized the culture. They recognized the vultures. Blue pillar. It's so magnetic. KT the arch degree. It was recognized as ultra. Kambada. They weaponized the culture. We went from Eugene Adams, searching for the blacks in China, to searching through these back pages for some black China and some black vagina. We went from the UNIA and the Black Star Liners to some black Masons, black Shriners, buying crack from the miners. Went from Dapper Dan black designers to some Gucci turtlenecks, black face reminders. Moving on up, Sherman Helmsley. But the shooters is shooting on up. There's nightmares on Elm Street. Computers and they booting on up. I'm dream chasing through the Jason months. As above, so below. We was adjacent once. Rethink your fears. They drank your tears. While you making up for delinquent years, the distinctive years. Crack pays. Black rage, Beanie Siegel backstage, state property, crack cage, hell up in Harlem, the black plagues, Luke Cage, going through his crack rage, captured, bulletproof zombies, raptured, toothless blondies, carving a piece, ruthless Gandhi, starving for peace, no disguise with the vulture's eyes, most survive, but they cultures die. Look at Scarface through Sosa's eyes. Approach the guys and get posterized. Or dropped into acid, emulsified. All of your media is socialized. When they see us and they start acting goofy, we smacking koofies, they bad and bougie. I'm I'm a timeless royal, times of turmoil. Phyllis Thomas on Thomas Boyle. Flaxseed oil, black winter boil. Color of the backstreet soil with orange coils. We the lost attraction, I'm no course of action. If she look like Penny for a good time, I toss her Jackson. Me in the carbon is quantum entangled. I'm dripping in carrots, the sponsors are jangled. If I had to decide to fade to Billy Gates, I say young chop his ass like Philly steak. Shit, I gave birth to a lady killer. Object of desire to Mercedes dealers. A hard pill they soon to swallow. Wherever I go, all these drones, yeah, they soon to follow. I resisted the urge, then persisted to purge. Protect the hood from the peckerwood in my neck of woods. Delectable Negroes say they neck is good. Protect the wood, protect his wood. 36 chambers, Inspector Deck was good.